Stop for a moment. Take a breath deep into the lungs and let it out slowly. Be right here, nowhere else, just here. There is a reason you are hearing this voice right now. It is not an accident of the algorithm. It is not a coincidence of timing. It is a divine appointment. There is a frequency that calls out to deep, and deep calls unto deep. You are here because your spirit has been asking a question that your mind cannot articulate. You have been sensing a shift, a vibration, a turning of the tide, and you have been looking for confirmation. Consider this your confirmation. We are entering a time that requires your absolute, undivided attention. Not the attention of your eyes looking at a screen, but the attention of your inner knowing. The discernment that lives in the pit of your stomach. The intuition that wakes you up at 3 in the morning. For a very long time, you have felt like a stranger in a familiar land. You have looked at the world around you, perhaps even at your own family, at your own circle, and felt a distinct, undeniable separation. Not out of pride, not out of arrogance, but out of a fundamental difference in resonance. You have been walking through a season of silence, a season where it felt like the heavens were made of brass. You prayed and you heard your own echo. You reached out and you grasped only air. You gave and gave and gave until you felt hollowed out, scraped clean of your own vitality. And in that silence, a lie began to whisper to you. The lie told you that you were forgotten. The lie told you that you were being punished. The lie told you that perhaps, just perhaps, you were wrong about everything. That the calling you felt was a delusion. That the destiny you sensed was a fantasy. I am here to break that agreement today. You were not forgotten. You were hidden. There is a vast difference between being rejected and being concealed. Rejection is the act of being cast aside as having no value. Concealment is the act of being covered by a protective hand because the value is too great to be exposed to the wrong season. You have been in the shadow of the hand of the divine, and while it felt dark, and while it felt lonely, and while it felt confusing, it was necessary. Think of the seed. When a seed is placed in the ground, it is buried. To the seed, it feels like a burial. It is dark. It is heavy. The dirt is pressing in on all sides. It feels like the end. But the gardener knows it is not a burial. It is a planting. You have been planted, and the pressure you have been feeling. That crushing weight that is not the weight of destruction. That is the breaking of the shell. That is the necessary friction required to release the life that is dormant within you. Let us speak about the exhaustion. I know you are tired. It is a tiredness that sleep does not fix. It is a weariness of the soul. You have been the strong one for so long. You have been the pillar, the counselor, the fixer, the one who absorbs the chaos of others and transmutes it into peace. You have carried burdens that were never yours to carry simply because you had the strength to lift them. But you have noticed something lately. You have noticed that the old ways of coping are no longer working. You have noticed that you no longer have the tolerance for the superficial. You can no longer engage in the meaningless chatter. You can no longer wear the mask of everything is fine when you know deeply that everything is changing. This intolerance is not a symptom of depression. It is a symptom of ascension. It is a symptom of spiritual maturity. You are losing your taste for that which has no nutrition for your soul. You are starving for truth. You are starving for authenticity. And because you are starving for it, you are beginning to see it. This brings us to the shift. The fog is lifting. Have you felt it? It is subtle at first. Like the first gray light of dawn before the sun actually breaks the horizon. You are beginning to see people's situations and patterns with a clarity that is almost startling. Things that used to confuse you are now making sense. Behaviors that you used to excuse are now revealing their root. You are seeing the motives behind the words. You are feeling the energy behind the smile. This is the divine surfacing. Everything that has been hidden in the dark is being brought to the light. This is not happening to hurt you. It is happening to free you. You see, for a long time, you operated out of a place of deep loyalty. You saw the potential in people, not the reality. You fell in love with who they could be, not who they chose to be. You poured your energy into potential, and you reaped disappointment. But now your eyes are being washed with a spiritual salve. You are seeing the reality. And with this sight comes a decision. The mask is falling. This can be painful. When the mask falls off someone you trusted, or an institution you relied on, or a path you thought was yours, the immediate reaction is grief. It feels like a loss. But I want you to reframe this moment. Do not look at what is leaving. Look at what is making room. The clearing of the ground is essential before the new construction can begin. If your life had continued on the trajectory it was on, if those people had stayed, if that door hadn't closed, if that silence hadn't happened, you would have built your house on sand. You would have built a life that could not sustain the weight of the glory that is coming. So the divine stepped in, the divine override. It felt like a disruption. It felt like a delay. But it was a rescue. You were pulled back. You were isolated. You were sat down. Why? Because you are being prepared for stewardship. You are not just here to exist. You are here to govern, not over others, but over your own domain, over your own spirit, over the atmosphere you carry. The chosen one is not a title of arrogance. It is a designation of responsibility. It means you are chosen to break the cycle. You are chosen to stop the generational trauma. You are chosen to stand in the gap when others flee. You are chosen to hold the light when the darkness gets thick. And because the assignment is heavy, the preparation must be intense. You could not be allowed to stay the way you were. You could not be allowed to keep your codependency. You could not be allowed to keep your need for external validation. Those things had to be burned away, and the fire has been hot. I know. I know the nights you cried out and asked why. I know the confusion of doing everything right and seeing everything go wrong. But that was the refining fire. Gold does not fear the fire. It is the dross that fears the flame. The impurities are burned away, but the gold remains. And what is left of you now is gold. You are becoming solid. Do you feel that a new kind of grounding? It is less frantic than before. You are less likely to jump into the fray. You are less likely to defend yourself when misunderstood. This is a key sign of your transition. The need to explain yourself is vanishing. In the past, when someone misunderstood you, you would rush to clarify. You would write the long paragraphs. You would lose sleep trying to make them see your heart. You were desperate to be known. But now you realize that your character is not up for debate. You realize that those who are committed to misunderstanding you will never hear you, no matter how loud you speak. And those who are assigned to you, they will understand you, even in your silence. This is the birth of inner authority. You are learning to stand in your own truth without needing a witness. You are learning that your value is not a consensus vote. It is a sovereign fact. This is where the power returns. For years, you may have given your power away. You gave it to opinions. You gave it to fear. You gave it to the need to be liked. You gave it to the systems of this world that told you to be small, to be quiet, to be compliant. But the divine reversal is here. The power is returning to the owner. You are being called to pick up your mantle. This is not a physical cloak. It is a spiritual weight of glory and responsibility. It is the ability to walk into a room and shift the atmosphere without saying a word. But with this power comes the requirement for discipline. You can no longer engage in low vibrational battles. You cannot afford to come down from the wall to argue with those who are on the ground. You have a great work to do. You must become a steward of your peace. Peace is not passive. Peace is a weapon. Peace is a fortress. When you are in peace, you are in power. When you are in reaction, you are in weakness. The enemy of your soul, the force of chaos and distraction, wants nothing more than to pull you out of your peace. It wants to trigger you. It wants to offend you. It wants to get you into a debate. Because if it can get you to react, it can siphon your energy. Do not take the bait. Observe, don't absorb. See the chaos swirling. See the provocations. See the traps. But do not step into them. Stand back. Watch. Breathe. Say to yourself, I see it, but I am not of it. This is the stance of the warrior sage. This is the stance of the chosen. You are in the world, but you are not of this frequency. You are operating on a higher bandwidth, and because of this, your very presence is irritating to demons. Your light exposes their shadows without you even trying. That is why the attacks have been so strange. That is why the jealousy has been so irrational. People have disliked you for reasons they can't explain. It's not you. It's the light in you. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. That season is over. If they are blinded by your light, let them wear sunglasses. But you burn. You burn bright. You burn steady. We are moving into a time of restoration. But hear me clearly, restoration does not always look like getting the old things back. Sometimes restoration looks like receiving something entirely new that makes you forget you ever lost the old thing. The divine is not a repairman. The divine is a creator. He is not just patching up your old life. He is building a new city. Do not look back at Sodom. Do not look back at the burning bridges. Let them burn. The light from the flames will light your way forward. You are heading toward your people. You are heading toward your purpose. You are heading toward a place where you will not have to shrink to fit. But you must walk. You must keep moving. The paralysis of analysis must end. The waiting for perfect conditions must end. The conditions will never be perfect in the natural, but they are perfect in the spirit. Trust your gut. That voice you have been ignoring, that is your compass. That sudden urge to go left when logic says go right, follow it. That sudden hesitation about a person who seems nice on paper, heed it. Your discernment is your defense system. It has been sharpened in the dark. It has been honed in the pain. Trust it. You are coming into a season of knowing. You will just know. You won't know how you know, you will just know. And that will be enough. Now, as we seal this message, I want you to center yourself again. Close your eyes if you can. Feel the ground beneath you. Understand that you are protected. You are not walking this path alone. There are legions of angels. There are forces of light. There is a creator who has never taken his eye off of you. The battle has been fierce because the destiny is great. The resistance has been strong because the breakthrough is significant. You are the breaking point. You are the turning of the page. You are the one your bloodline has been waiting for. Do not give up now. Do not faint in the day of adversity. Your strength is small only if you rely on your flesh. But if you rely on the Spirit, your strength is inexhaustible. I speak peace over your mind. I speak clarity over your confusion. I speak restoration over your weary heart. I speak order over the chaos. Let the scales fall from your eyes. Let the heaviness lift from your shoulders. You are released from the burden of the past. You are released from the guilt of what you did not know. You are released from the shame of your scars. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are medals of victory. They prove you survived. They prove you are still here. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high. You are a child of the Most High. Walk like it. Speak like it. Live like it. The season of weeping is ending. The season of joy is on the horizon. But more than joy, the season of authority is here. Take your place. Hold your ground. The tide has turned. Peace be with you.